Hello.
What's going on? How's it going?
I'm doing great. How you been?
Good, thank you.
Long time no see.
Absolutely. Ooh. A fine day before the rain starts.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
So we're gonna throw on just in case. This thing's not the loudest car, but you'll see it's got the gurgles
Oh yeah.
from the titanium exhaust. It's really cool. What's nice about this car as opposed to the Lambo is you don't have to use the lift. It's got a lift, but you don't have to use it that often because the front is a little bit higher. So it makes it a lot easier. Okay, all right, we'll take a look around 485.
So we just finished a podcast, and I want you guys to go ahead and take a look at it. Make sure you, we'll post it on YouTube as well. Make sure you like and subscribe it. This is how Joe was able to accumulate these cars. He's also an airplane enthusiast as well, but we're sitting in a McLaren 720S.
Correct.
Yes, and he's had numerous cars before this, but what he did was he leveraged his W-2 and his real estate to accumulate these cars. He didn't just go out and buy these cars or anything like that. He made sure it was at that right point. And when was that right point, Joe, that you felt after you had your real estate portfolio built up that you could go ahead and buy one of these?
It was about a dozen years into the business. I started out with a 2002 Corvette convertible for 15 grand. Then I transitioned over to a 2015 C7 convertible Corvette. And then I transitioned to a 2017 Corvette Z06. And yeah, that's the titanium exhaust. This thing, it just gurgles. It's just magic. This thing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and this is a twin turbo V8, so it's not naturally aspirated like the Lambo V10, for example. Woo! Yeah, this thing is super crazy fast. So you gotta really drive it very carefully because this thing will it's just unreal. It's got 690 horsepower to the wheel.
Okay.
But it's really got about 800 horsepower, close to it, stock, which is insane.
Wow.
Yeah, McLaren kind of understates what this thing can do because P1, which is their flagship, that one is, this thing is actually a little bit faster than that one, but they can't really broadcast that to the world. So yeah, this thing is very special, and I want to acknowledge McLaren Charlotte. Ryan and Justin, those guys are like the best. They got me into this thing. This is my third transaction with them. I had a Porsche GT3 16 GT3 RS that I transacted with them, and now they got me into this thing. And this thing is amazing.
It's a rocket ship.
Yeah, this thing is unreal. It's my first car that the doors actually go up.
Oh, really?
So that's new. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
because a Lambo Huracan does not.
My Corvette does not go up, but I adore that car, so that's okay.
Oh, it's a beautiful car.
Thank you.
So it took you around 12 years?
It's not that it took me 12 years. I could have done it sooner, but
you did it? Go ahead.
Sure. My main motivation was not to go out, get a portfolio, and start buying cars, because the first 10 years or so, all the incoming, I essentially put back into the business. Aside from living expenses, what I used to live on.
Correct.
New ovens, new refrigerators, paint, flooring, just tens and tens of thousands that were put back into the property so that when I show the potential residents, I don't want to hear, well, this is kind of old and this is yucky and I don't want to hear that stuff. I want to come in and say, this is nice, it's clean, looks good, and I don't have to start making a list of stuff that I need to do for them. So that was my main motivation. Once I was satisfied that I've done a good job of that, and the business was seasoned, I was more comfortable doing stuff like this. And like I said,
I think it's important. One thing that you just said is that you put your money back in the business.
Yes.
You made sure that you added more value to your business by the money that you were your income that you were bringing in, that you just dumped it right back into your business.
Correct.
And then that gave you a huge safety net when you were ready to go ahead and purchase one of these type of cars. I think a lot of people, like we spoke on our podcast, is that they get hung up with Instagram, social media, and they see these cars that they think that you woke up one morning and you were able to go out and buy one of these. They don't really see the 10 to 15 years that it took, and sweat hard equity, and the time that it took you to actually get one.
Don't get me wrong, I wish I could just step in and start buying these cars.
Don't we all?
That's a nice fairy tale. But yeah, and it's the same thing with people like, oh, you're so lucky. Where the hell were you 15 years ago when I started? So, I don't like the word lucky at all. I don't like it because I'm not lucky. I put the effort in, and I was there so that when the opportunity presented itself, I was able to take advantage of it, as opposed to sitting on the couch watching TV or, just other stuff that you could be doing that's not podcast. These cars, I've met a lot of new friends who are also exotic car aficionados, collectors.
Oh yeah.
All of us have multiple exotics. Maybe a Lambo, a McLaren, a Ferrari, a Porsche, whatever. 69 Camaro. So we're all kind of on the same page, so we get each other. We appreciate each other, and we, most importantly, prop each other up. So we want the other guys to succeed. We don't want to be standing still. We want to keep growing our business, keep growing our companies, keep creating value to our customers, our clients, and then I can do stuff like this, where I can sit in a $360,000 car with you talking on a Thursday afternoon, and people are listening and they're saying, well, geez, if Joe could do this, I could definitely do this. Because like I said in the podcast, there's guys who are straight A students. They're very, very smart. They can take tests and ace them. That's not me.
That's not me either. I was a C student, and how I got through school is I leveraged other people's strengths to do tests and classwork for me.
Exactly. So very on the public highway? No, I don't. Same as my business. It's on autopilot. He's systemized it. He's got someone that handles any calls while they're gone. So you have once you get enough properties, enough flexibility, enough financial freedom, you have the ability to do things that most people just cannot do, just because of the restrictions of their job or their business. If you own a restaurant, I'm just using an example.
Oh yeah.
Cash business, you got to babysit employees. Otherwise, it's going to be a skim. I'm not saying that happens all the time, but I know people who own restaurants or have owned, and they've told me, like, if you're not there, your partner's not there.
It's true. I was at my daughter's, it was Christmas recital. They were doing a Christmas carol at school, and right next to me was a gentleman. He had his phone up watching cameras at his restaurant to make sure his employees are working.
Yeah, and look, I'm a business like that, it makes money, but to me, and I hope I don't get any abuse for this, but he basically bought himself a job.
Oh, you're
because
correct.
You're tied to it, you're handcuffed to it. And for me, and again, I'm not putting it down, I'm simply saying that for me, I want a business where I don't have to babysit people all the time and worry about cash skims and things disappearing. That's why I love this particular business. Okay. Again, there's other people making a lot of money, a lot more money than I make, and they have business where they're babysitting employees or whatever, and there's got to watch the cash and make sure, all those components.
Oh, yeah.
But this business allows me freedom and kind of do what I need to do. So that's what I'm just simply saying why I love this particular business, and it's worked very well for me.
That's why I love it too, because it's the financial freedom it creates. You have the freedom to take pictures of your hobby, which is airplanes.
Correct.
Travel the world and see other different countries and take pictures of airplanes.
Yes.
That's what real estate has been able to let you do, is to go out there and do that. If you had a 9-to-5 job, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, no. I mean, in the past 12 months, I've been to Turkey 3 times, twice to Istanbul, once to Antalya. I just got back from Israel.
Yeah.
8 days. I took my family for vacation. I've been Vegas, LA, Miami. I've been all over the place. So just in the last year. So again, I couldn't do that if I had a day job or a business where I have to constantly be monitoring things.
Correct.
So yes, real estate is that one avenue, okay, that I know that will take a regular guy or a 9-to-5 job. If he puts the effort in that's required, the education, the understanding, and embraces it and runs with it, this is very feasible in your generation, your lifetime. In other words, it's not like, yeah, my grandpa built a business, it took him 40 years, you know. This is doable in a matter of 10 years, a dozen
10,
years.
15, okay.
If you're really aggressive, you can do it in 5. I don't know.
Other vehicles just like this one. What are the other ones do you have?
I've got a 69 Camaro SS, which I've wanted since high school. I couldn't afford it back then. There were 2 guys in my grade who had one. Their family, they came from very well-to-do families. I had my 71 Mustang, so that was just a dream, but I've always wanted one of those, so I've got that. I've got a 2002 Porsche 911 996 GT2, which is a very, very special car. It's a manual, it's a 6-speed.
And that has a nickname, doesn't it?
Yes, the Widowmaker.
The Widowmaker.
Yeah, that car, it's essentially, it's a street legal race car, very, very fast, but it has no nannies, in that these modern cars have all the nannies to help you if you kind of spin out or whatever. They've got the ability to kind of get you back on the road, and in layman's terms. This car has nothing, so this car has killed a lot of guys who drove it very, very spirited on a track or on the street, lost control, and that car will kill you. That's why the moniker is the Widowmaker. So I don't drive it crazy. I don't drive it much at all. It's a collector's car. That car, just to give you some perspective, the 996, 911 Porsches, they made 175,000 units for the world. 175,000, okay? Of the GT2, which is what I have, that particular model of those years, they only made like 700.
Oh wow!
It's minuscule, and even more special, around 300 made to the U.S.
Oh wow!
So it's a rare car. You'll see 1 or 2 maybe, or none, for sale at any given time. So that car is, I'm going to keep that car for a while. It's 18 years old now, and I'm pretty sure when it reaches 20 years old, it's going to continue to appreciate. It's appreciated somewhat since I bought it about a year ago, but it's going to continue to appreciate. I don't drive it much. I take it out, you know, a little bit here or there. It's just a cool car to have in the collection. My collection is very small. I have 4 cars, you know, because I don't have any garage space right now.
But you're building.
Yeah, we're going to build a garage, so
Good.
I can, yeah. But again, every car I buy is very methodical. I don't just buy stuff and get creamed on it. You know?
And that's something we can chat about a whole nother video.
Sure.
Is he's not buying these, you know, retail prices. He's buying these at a discount because of the relationships he was able to build.
Correct.
And that's the key when it comes to these cars.
Absolutely, yeah, and there's a lot to it. There's what I do is called car hacking. Okay, there's actually a whole group online. It's called Exotic Car Hacks that I'm a part of. I started car hacking before I ran into those guys. There's a guy in Boca. His name is Pejman Gadimi.
Yep, I have him as a friend on
yeah,
Facebook.
He's a big social media guy, and he's I don't have my story is not similar to his, but he also kind of started with nothing. Him and his mother, you know, grew up and understood, got financial literacy. He didn't do it through real estate. He did it through other avenues, but again, he came from nothing to.
He worked his butt off.
He worked his butt off for many, many years, and now he's got this empire. It's unbelievable. So he and I kind of we get each other. Again, we have different approaches to how we do things, but we're trying to achieve the same things essentially.
Correct.
So there's a lot. Yeah, we could do hours on that. We can do that in the future. But yeah, car hacking is very near and dear to me, because these kind of cars, you could actually, people think it's like, I'm talking like speaking a little language, but it is possible to own these kind of cars and drive them either for nothing, make a couple of bucks, or not lose much at all. If you drive a $300,000-$400,000 car and it costs you $900 a month, are you okay with that? Most people are like, I pay more for that for my Lexus. So, but again, that's for another story for another day. But I do want to acknowledge Exotic Car Hacks. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, and really great. A lot of good information. You know, it's a like-minded community. So I'm very happy to be part of that. So So that answers that question.
Perfect. Well, there you have it. We'll go ahead and do a little video of his other cars that he has. I hope everyone enjoyed that and just soaked up as much knowledge as possible. We'll keep doing this to help you guys out. It's fun for us, giving back and adding value to you guys, and I hope you guys enjoy it by soaking up as much value as possible that we give. Please go ahead and like and subscribe to this video so we know that. There you have it. I hope everyone enjoyed that. We love adding value, and like I promised, here are his other cars.
And I don't want to get all dusty, so I have to wipe it down again. So for now, it's just on the wrap so that I don't, I can just take it out and not have to wipe it down or anything. So yeah, I put I had the vented and drilled, slotted drill rotors on there. Changed the whole brake system. The car was yellow, painted it blue.
Was it yellow? No, it wasn't. No,
it was yellow when I bought it.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you didn't change the color since I've seen it.
No, this was 2 years ago.
Very nice. And this is the Widowmaker.
This is the GT2. Yep. I changed. The only thing I did in this car is I changed the wheels. I didn't like the stock wheels. They're kind of bland. This is the first 911 from Porsche. This is another reason why this car is very, very special to collectors. It's the first 911 with ceramic brakes. With Porsche, you can tell the ceramic when they're yellow. Okay, so they're not the red ones that are steel brakes. These are ceramics. This car is 18 years old. It's got 23,000 original miles, and as you can get up close to it, it's like brand new. This thing is magnificent. It is just flawless. It's so amazing. Like, I love this thing. For a 23,000 mile car, it's not new, but it was.
I mean,
it's had multiple owners, but you could tell it wasn't tracked or abused or anything. When I saw it, I looked at it top to bottom, and I just it wasn't good.
And what is that back there?
Let me turn the light on real quick.
Here we go.
That's sort of the wires.
No, you're
This
fine.
is 2018 Lamborghini Huracan Performante, and I'm like in love with this thing.
I love it too.
The McLaren's awesome, but this is, I mean, they're both great. This is a special car. This is the third fastest production car in the world that's ran Nürburgring, which is the German track where all the production sports cars go to. See how fast they go? So it's Lamborghini SVJ, Aventador SVJ, which my buddy Russell has. My buddy Brian has the GT2 RS Porsche. So those are number 1, 2, and 3 respectively. And if you come up to the other side, just be careful there. You can see inside the engine bonnet. This thing is just so sweet. I mean, it's just amazing.
Look at that.
I love this car. It's pearl white. It's hard to tell now. It's white in the garage. And what's really cool about this car is, you know how like artwork, if there's a unique piece, it's a one-off.
Yeah.
So they make other Performantes, but I don't know if you get a close on here. This is called crushed. It's forged carbon. With this forged carbon, you can't replicate this. Yeah, what you're showing right now, exactly. You can't replicate that. So each car has its own DNA. It's individual. You see, it's all, the whole interior is Alcantara. The whole entire interior is Alcantara and crushed carbon accents. So it's just, this car is just wicked, just unbelievable, very, very special. I'm very proud to drive this thing. It's amazing. So
that's a good friend of mine, Joe. Some big key points is never give up. Keep pushing yourself, no matter where you're at. Just keep pushing yourself. A second thing is that you see these things on YouTube and on Instagram, but focus on you, focus on your business, and you'll be able to achieve what Joe achieved. If you just work hard, keep at it, you'll be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. So I hope everyone has a wonderful day today. Take care, and I'll see you guys later.